everyone, I am Dr. Rashmi Kumari working as an assistant professor in College of Commerce, Arts and Science, Patliputra University, Patna, Bihar. Before joining Patliputra University in November 2019, I was working as an ad hoc in Delhi University. I started my ad hoc career in the year 2017 January with Shivaji College, working against a leave vacancy for one semester. Then I joined Dolatram College for one semester again on a leave vacancy. After that, I was appointed as an assistant professor in the Institute of Home Economics on a clear vacancy that was against the workload. And then in July 2018, I was appointed as an assistant professor in Deen Dayal Upadhyay College on a clear vacancy. This clear vacancy was later on converted into EWS when the EWS reservation was implemented. Although I have worked in different colleges, but my experience with Deen Dayal College has been the worst. After I resigned from the college in November 2019, I requested the principal and the administration to release all my dues, that is the summer salary for the month of June and July 2019, and all the areas that were to be paid to the teachers for the 7th pay commission. I wrote innumerable messages and emails requesting the principal, staff association and the authorities to look into the matter and release my dues as soon as possible, as I was in a real need of finances. Due to this lockdown, and you must be aware of the Yes Bank scam, my husband is working with Yes Bank as a senior vice president, but due to all these scams, all our accounts were blocked and we had a monthly limit of 50,000 rupees that could be withdrawn no matter how many accounts you have. So we were left in a position where we had no money for our daily activities as well. So I, along with my husband, we requested the principal and the authorities many times through emails, personal messages and WhatsApp, and requested them to release at least some amount of money so that we could live our normal life normally. Apart from this, to add to our pathetic situation, we were expecting a baby, and so the expenses including the hospital bills went quite high, and we were in a real financial mess which we wanted to clear as soon as possible. There are not a single issue that Deen Dayal College has. The ad hocs are exploited badly in this college. Just to mention a few, in the month of June and July in 2019, when the colleges were closed for summer holiday, all the ad hocs of this college were called to the college for working on NAC accreditation. A register was maintained in the college in which all the ad hocs had to sign every day. That was a proof that yes, you have come to the college in the summer holidays. And this was done on the pretext that the principal have some proof to show to the governing body or somebody else if they ask why are you paying summer salary to the ad hocs if they were not involved in college activities. DDU has 32 ad hocs. Among them, all 32 ad hocs used to come in complete summer holidays, including Saturdays. But there were no permanent faculties who used to come to the college except for the nodal officers for each criteria that were made. Unfortunately, the coordinator of my criteria was a little inhuman towards me. Actually, I was pursuing a B.Ed course through distance just to make my career sure, because I was never sure that this ad hocism is going to continue or I'll keep on getting jobs one after the another. So I was pursuing a B.Ed from a distance learning course. So in the month of July, I was having my exams and I was out of station for those exams. So as soon as this NAC work started, my coordinator called me that you need to be present in the college tomorrow. I urged her, ma'am, I am out for an examination, but she refused to understand. She simply told me that this is the order from the principal, and if you want to save your job, you will have to report tomorrow. At the max, I can give you one day to come back and then you have to, and I can manage for one day. I'll say that yeah, she's not well and she's not coming to the college, but from the next day you have to report to the college at the specified time, and then you have to work for the NAC committee. I incurred a loss of 80,000 rupees as that was my final year of B.Ed, and I left 2 of my examinations just in the fear to save my job, because I thought this job was important to me, and at this stage if I lose this job or if I'm out of the system, it will be very difficult for me to get back into the system again. So I left my B.Ed job, and then I came back to Delhi and then started going to the college every day without fail to work for the NAC committee. The permanent coordinator who used to come to the college, they used to come every day but for a specified time of period. Like my coordinator, her daughter was giving NEET exam and her results were due, so she used to tell every day, अरे आज मेरी बेटी का counseling है, मुझे उसको लेके जाना है, मुझे उसको. So she used to stay for like half an hour and then see ki what all things you have done, and then she used to go. So this is a clear picture how all the ad hocs from 8 to 5 they were sitting in the college in one room and then working for this NAC. Although lunch and everything was provided by the college, but we have not been paid the summer salary for that time when we were actually in the college for the whole 2 months, and still we are begging for those summer salaries. In fact, all the Delhi government colleges have released the summer salary of their ad hocs in the month of August or September, but it has been 10 months since we have been begging for our summer salary. In spite of writing so many emails by me or by the staff association president, the principal is not ready to release the funds. I just fail to understand where these funds are going. If the funds are released by the Delhi government for permanent as well as ad hoc teachers, why this partiality is there that the permanent teachers are getting their salary the next very day and the ad hocs have to wait for 10 months? Apart from this, there are many other things that the college do for exploiting the ad hocs. Like the permanent teachers have a workload of 12 to 14 hours, whereas we ad hocs had a working hour of 20 to 22 hours per week. In examinations also, the ad hoc teachers are given 2 duties for the exam, whereas the ad hocs are given 8 duties. The exam duties the permanent prefers and they can exchange it with the ad hocs, but ad hocs, any reasons ad hoc can't give if they can't come for the permanent examination duties. So they have to fulfill like they have to come to the college in all the practical examinations, and apart from that, in the 8 exam duties that are allotted to them, compared to the permanent faculties who just get 2 exam duties. Apart from this, whenever the new semester comes, the permanent are given the choice which subject you want to teach, with which teacher you want to share your paper, but no such privilege is given to the ad hocs. So these are just a few to name. Apart from this, the main concern that I want to be resolved is all my dues. You won't believe that DDU has given the complete arrears to 5 permanent faculty members, and all the other faculty members, permanent or ad hocs, they are still waiting for their arrears of the 7th pay commission. DDU has 32 ad hocs. I have been working in DDU since July 2018, but there are many ad hocs who have been working there from the year 2011. Just think about the plight they might be going through. I know ad hocs are never in a condition to say something, and they have to keep suffering or being exploited by the seniors or the permanent faculties or the authorities. There are many ad hoc teachers I know who left this system and they went to other colleges, and they left their dues because coming to the college and begging the authorities every time is not possible. Even they don't give a heed to your problems, or they are so insensitive, they never try to understand your problems. There are many permanent faculty in DDUC college, and many of them must be recognized faces like Anurag Mishra and Dr. Manoj Saxena. But when it comes to helping others, they never come forward. Rather, they will demotivate you, they will threaten you that these can cause some legal issues to you. But one thing I want to make clear to these people, that I also belong to a political family. If needed, I would have been used other measures also, and it would not have been that tough for me. and all these problems would have been resolved very fast. But this fight is not just for me, it's for 32 ad hocs who are working in DDUC. Today I am in that position. I can speak up for myself and for them, and that's why I'm taking this fight forward. So just think the amount of money the college has kept and eating its interest. 32 ad hocs, 2 lakh for the summer salary, and then arrears from 2016 till date for the 7th pay commission. So this is just the beginning of this fight, and I think, as all of us are now aware of the faculty maternity case that was won recently against Aurobindo College, that is one milestone in this area, and I just hope by taking this fight forward I can reduce the miseries of ad hocs a little bit more, so that they feel comfortable to come up with their problems and they are not exploited by these permanent faculties and the authorities. I just need your support, not in any financial matter or something else, but a backup support who can advise me, guide me to take the right path in this field. And any legal advice or any legal guidance that should be adopted to take this fight forward will be highly appreciated. So thank you very much.